When working with your contacts, sometimes you'll find that you want to import contact info from other places into Act 365. You could set out to add each contact individually, but depending on the number of contacts, that could take hours and hours of work. In this video, I want to show you different ways that you can import contacts from external sources into Act 365. So first, make sure you're logged into Act 365 and go to the Contacts area. Next, in the upper right corner, click the Add button and then choose Import Contacts. As you can see here, Act 365 lets you import from 4 different sources: Gmail, iCloud, CSV files, and VCF files. The first two, Gmail and iCloud, will require you to log into your accounts in order to grant Act 365 access to your contacts. The last two, CSV and VCF files, require only that you have a valid file which can then be imported into Act 365. Let me show you how that would work with a CSV file, or comma-separated value file. To do this, I have a list of contacts from New Mexico that are saved in an Excel spreadsheet. In Excel, I performed a save as to convert that spreadsheet into a CSV, or comma-delimited file. This is the file format that's required for Act 365 to read and import. And looking at the file, there are a couple things that we need to notice. First of all, my file has a header row. The header row explains the type of data listed in each column beneath it, such as first name, last name, company, email, and so on. Second, there is no recommended template for the column data here, so don't be too concerned about having to prepare this file for import. Act 365 will examine these columns later, and you'll be able to map them to the specific fields in Act 365. Going back to Act 365 now, let's select the CSV file button. Now click the Browse button to locate your file on your computer, and click Open. If you recall, I mentioned that my CSV file has a header row. If yours also has a header row, then you need to make sure to leave this box unchecked. That way, Act 365 will know to skip the first row during the import. Header rows also help Act 365 to map the data in your CSV file correctly to its own fields. So let's click Next. And now we just need to do some simple mapping to match up the columns in the CSV file to the fields in Act 365. If you have a header row in your CSV file, Act 365 will attempt to figure this out for you. But it's still a good idea to scroll through the list on the next few screens just to make sure everything is mapped correctly. For each Act field, simply choose the header row from your CSV file that matches it best. If you don't have a column in the CSV file that matches the Act 365 field, then choose the blank selection at the top of the drop-down list. Then click Next for each of these screens until you get to this screen. Here you need to assign these contacts to a group in Act 365. You can choose an existing group from the drop-down list, or you can create a new group by simply typing the name for the new group in the space provided. Once you've typed your group's name, click this option that says to create the new group, and now you can click the Import button to proceed. Once finished, Act 365 will confirm that it has imported a certain number of contacts for you. We'll click Close. Now in the Contacts area of Act 365, when you go to the group that you've created, you should see that your new contacts have now been successfully imported.